The September sun blazed over the Riverside Grand Hotel. As Marcus Webb stepped out of his silver sedan, his tailored navy suit fit perfectly, his shoes gleamed, and the wedding invitation rested in his breast pocket. Yet the moment he approached the marble entrance, 3 security guards moved to block his path. "Wrong venue, buddy," the tallest guard said, crossing his arms. His name tag read Rick. Marcus smiled politely. "I have an invitation." "Daniel Carter's wedding." "Sure you do," Rick smirked. "Let me guess, you're here for the staff entrance?" Kitchen's round back heat crept up Marcus's neck, but he kept his voice steady. "I'm a guest." "Check the list." Marcus Webb, the second guard, younger with nervous eyes, whispered something to Rick behind them. Guests in expensive gowns and tuxedos began gathering near the doorway, phones emerging from purses and pockets. A woman in pearls clutched her husband's arm and whispered loud enough for Marcus to hear. "Should we call someone?" "I already am on the list," Marcus repeated, pulling out his phone to show the digital invitation. "Daniel Carter personally invited me." Rick didn't even look at the screen. "Listen, we've had problems with crashers before. Unless you can prove you know the groom personally, I suggest you leave before this gets ugly." "This is already ugly," Marcus said quietly. A man in a gray suit pushed forward from the crowd. "I'm calling the police. We can't have this kind of disruption at Daniel's wedding." "Please do," Marcus replied, his jaw tight. "I'll wait." The whispers grew louder, spreading like wildfire through the gathering crowd. Marcus caught fragments of conversations, assumptions about who he was and why he was really there. A woman suggested he might be dangerous. Another wondered aloud if he had a weapon. The security guards positioned themselves in a semicircle, hands near their belts, eyes hard with suspicion. 8 minutes later, 2 police cruisers pulled up to the circular driveway, lights flashing but sirens off. Officers Martinez and Chen approached cautiously, hands resting on their duty belts. "What's the situation?" Officer Martinez asked, glancing between Marcus and the security guards. "This man is trying to force his way into a private wedding," Rick explained, puffing his chest. "He claims he's invited, but he can't provide proof, and he's not on our list." "That's a lie," Marcus said calmly, looking directly at Officer Martinez. "I showed him my invitation. He refused to look at it. I gave him my name for the guest list. He refused to check. I'm here because Daniel Carter, the groom, invited me personally." Officer Chen stepped closer. "Sir, do you have identification?" Marcus slowly reached into his jacket, pulled out his wallet, and handed over his driver's license. Officer Chen examined it, then radioed something quietly. The crowd pressed closer, phones raised, recording every moment. "Marcus Webb." Officer Martinez read aloud, examining the license. "You live at 1847 Oakmont Drive?" "That's correct. That's the expensive side of town," someone muttered from the crowd. Rick's face reddened. "Doesn't matter where he lives. He's not on the list, and he's causing a disturbance." "The only disturbance is your refusal to do your job properly," Marcus said, his voice sharp now, patience wearing thin. Officer Martinez raised a hand. Everyone calm down. "Sir, do you have the groom's phone number? We can call and verify." Before Marcus could respond, the hotel's glass doors burst open. Daniel Carter, resplendent in his white tuxedo, ran down the steps, his face a mixture of confusion and growing horror as he took in the scene before him. "Marcus?" Daniel's voice cracked. "What's happening? Why are you out here?" The crowd fell silent. Rick's smug expression faltered. Officer Martinez lowered his notepad. Daniel pushed past the security guards and threw his arms around Marcus, embracing him tightly. "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." "It's all right," Marcus said softly, patting Daniel's back. "Just a misunderstanding." Daniel pulled back, tears brimming in his eyes, then turned to face the crowd, his voice rising with emotion. "This man is Marcus Webb. He's the CEO of Webb Industries. He's the reason I have my career. He's the reason Amanda and I could afford this wedding. He gave me my first real chance when every other company in this city rejected my applications." His voice broke. "And you treated him like a criminal." The silence that followed was deafening. Phones lowered. Eyes dropped to the ground. The woman in pearls covered her mouth with her hand. Rick's face drained of color, his earlier confidence evaporating like morning mist. Marcus stepped forward, his presence commanding without being threatening. He looked at each person slowly, meeting their eyes, letting the weight of the moment settle over them like snow. "I don't want apologies," Marcus began, his voice carrying across the courtyard. "I want understanding. You saw my skin before you saw my suit. You assumed criminality before considering character. You called the police on a man holding an invitation, standing peacefully, bothering no one." He paused, letting his words sink in. "Every single day, someone who looks like me faces this exact situation. At stores, at restaurants, at their own neighborhood gates. Your assumptions have consequences. Your prejudice has power. And today, you all got to see exactly what that looks like. A young woman in the crowd stepped forward, tears streaming down her face. I'm sorry. I'm one of the people who said to call the police. I just assumed. I'm so sorry. Then change, Marcus said gently but firmly. Don't just apologize to me. Change how you see people. Question your assumptions. Teach your children better. That's how we fix this, one person, one moment, one choice at a time. Rick removed his cap, his hands shaking. Mr. Webb, I was wrong. Completely wrong. There's no excuse for how I treated you, Marcus nodded slowly. Then be better tomorrow than you were today. That's all any of us can do. Daniel wiped his eyes and took Marcus's arm. Please, come inside. You're not just a guest at my wedding, you're family. And everyone here needs to know that. As they walked up the marble steps together, the crowd parted silently, faces filled with shame, reflection, and for some, the first stirrings of real understanding. Inside the grand ballroom, beneath crystal chandeliers and silk drapes, Marcus took his seat at the head table, exactly where he belonged. Later, during the toasts, Marcus stood with a champagne glass in his hand, looking out at the 300 faces watching him. Some still couldn't meet his eyes. Others leaned forward, ready to listen, ready to learn. Daniel asked me to say a few words. Marcus began, his voice warm now, the earlier tension replaced with hope. Today started with judgment. It ends with celebration. That's the choice we all have, every single day. We can judge based on appearances, or we can celebrate based on character. We can build walls, or we can build bridges. We can see differences as threats, or as opportunities to grow wiser and more compassionate. He raised his glass. To Daniel and Amanda, may your marriage be built on the kind of unconditional acceptance and love that this world desperately needs more of. And may everyone in this room leave here tonight committed to being part of the solution, rather than part of the problem. The room erupted in applause, genuine and thunderous. As Marcus sat down, Daniel gripped his hand tightly and whispered, "Thank you for not leaving. Thank you for staying. Thank you for still believing we can be better." Marcus smiled, thinking of all the other young professionals like Daniel whom he'd mentored over the years. Thinking of the changes slowly taking root in boardrooms and hiring offices across the country. Thinking of his own children and the world he was fighting to build for them. We can be better. Marcus replied, "We will be better. One wedding at a time." Outside, the September sun set over the city, painting the sky in shades of gold and crimson. A reminder that even the darkest days eventually give way to light.